deep in the heart of a forest called the Lost Woods, a man has made his home in an abandoned castle. This man, Zagan, is a sorcerer who is both feared and hated by the general public. One day, his closest friend, Barbaros, drops by to share some really intriguing news. Apparently, one of the archdemons has passed away. The title of archdemon comes with a massive amount of mana and the authority to command lesser sorcerers. There are 13 in total, and the oldest among them, who lived for about 1000 years, has just died. Barbaros says there's going to be an auction held in the territory of the recently deceased archdemon. His legacy is gonna be up for auction, so they head over to the auction location, where they see many potential successors for the vacant 13th archdemon position. It's worth noting that both of them are also in the running. The selection is made by the other 12 archdemons, by the way. Anyway, Zagan and his friend showed up just in time for the auction's most extraordinary item. It's a member of a legendary race, an elf. The moment Zagan lays eyes on her, he falls head over heels in love. As the auctioneer starts to list her attributes and announces a starting bid of 10,000, Zagan jumps in with an offer of 1 million right off the bat. The crowd and his friend are stunned, thinking he's lost his mind. But Zagan is only focused on the emotions welling up inside him. He's consumed by the desire to help her, to see her smile, to touch her. Naturally, no one else dares to bid after that, so she becomes his. He asks about the chain around her neck, and the auctioneer explains that the collar is necessary to keep her mana in check. Without it, she might escape. Besides, no one could take off that collar anyway. Zagan is eager to talk with her as soon as possible. Unfortunately, he expresses this desire rather poorly, saying he can't wait to hear the sweet sounds she makes, which shocks everyone in the room. In any case, he takes her home, but the problem now is that he doesn't know how to talk to her, what to say. Ultimately, she's the first one to break the silence. She asks him about the specifics of her impending death, believing that knowing in advance will help her brace herself. He desperately assures her that he has no intention of killing her. In fact, he needs her alive. However, she takes this to mean that she should anticipate a fate worse than death, especially as she glances at the torture instruments scattered around his castle. But all those terrifying tools were left behind by the castle's previous owner. He clarifies he has no interest in torture. He then introduces himself, and in response, the elf reveals that her name is Nefi. She says she's a cursed child, but doesn't elaborate on that. However, she does reassure him that she's a virgin, so he doesn't need to worry. That makes him flustered, and he tells her he didn't buy her to experiment on her, as she seems to believe. When she asks why he bought her then, he says she doesn't need to know that. He's been really nervous this whole time, making it difficult for him to talk with her normally. Nefi, for her part, is really fixated on thinking he's going to kill her. She doesn't have a home to go back to, a situation Zagan can empathize with, as his circumstances were similar. His earliest memory is of living in the trash. He doesn't even remember his parents. In the end, he tells her he bought her because he needs her, so no more of the dying talk. She is surprised by those words, but she accepts them. Still, her completely justified fear of being killed isn't gonna go away so easily, and the artifacts scattered around his castle certainly don't help at all. In the end, he assigns her a room with a balcony where she can gaze at the moon, because she really likes the moon. It was on that night that their very, very long cohabitation began. And that's where the episode wraps up. Thanks for watching this video. Hit subscribe so you won't miss out on the next part. See ya!